I've been on the phone so much this morning. So, in a few minutes, some of you guys will find. So, so, that's a little weird, but that's a little weird, but whatever. Whatever. We could make my head big. Okay. There's some people coming out. Oh, wait, I didn't turn the thing on. Chat filter, all messages. Yeah, you're getting bedhead this morning, people. Because I've been on the phone a lot yesterday, too. And then this morning, I've been on the phone a couple of times. Okay. A couple different phone calls. Is somebody actually here? I think somebody's here. I think we have connection. I got soot on my shirt because we had snow, late spring snow, which is common. I've told you guys before, even up to a week after Passover. And it's been nearly a week after Passover. And we got snow. So, do you guys remember my nice, I don't know how to say it, ginseng knife? It's so sharp. I need to get it sharpened because I used that titanium, which turned out to be stainless steel cutting board, and it's a little dull. And I fixed some breakfast, so Wendy's just eating, I'm just eating. I'm gonna eat with you. Hi, Catherine. Who's here? Langula, I think. I'm not sure I'm saying it right. Beth, you found me? Yep. Okay. I missed a name before that. Jeremy, hey Jer. Oh, and Leanna. Good morning, everybody. I've just been doing a lot of phone calls the last 2 days and talking some of my stuff out, which I do with you guys too, but whatever. Hi. No, I'm not in the UK. By the way, anybody new, use the uppercase Qs for questions. I am eating breakfast with you all. I am still doing carnivore. Depends on my mood, right? Animal-based carnivore. Meat heavy diet. Once in a while, I'll have a few blueberries. Once in a while, I'll have some really good yogurt or sour cream, but it can't have carrageenan in it. What else will I have that's not technically? Well, it depends on who you are. Sometimes I'll have a little bit of honey or a couple of herbs, but basically I'm doing whatever I'm doing. So this morning, a teaspoon of the Siete brand of mild salsa on my steak. So this morning it's dirty carnivore. Hey, Tiny. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, everybody. So, who was that said they found me? I know, I didn't advertise this morning. Oh, Beth said she found me. So, yeah, thumbs up helps the channel. You know, the like, subscribe thing, that helps the channel too. I've been starting to try to get some videos out. By the way, Lisa L sent me, I think it was Lisa L, sent me a pack of Band-Aids and first aid kit that's really colorful. I thought I broke my finger yesterday. I mean, it was bad for a while. I did like also scrape and cut it, and it was bleeding, so I put a Band-Aid on. So that's a colorful Band-Aid. Um, I do not keep Easter, James. I believe um, in the great Creator, and I do believe that His Son was sent here and died and was risen for us, for our sins. I do believe in that. I just don't believe that the days and the celebrations are quite right. So, my camera is my Samsung phone. Y'all get what you get. It's what I can afford. It's what I do. I am technically a world traveler, nomad, nomadic, who currently has a home base. I like adventure travel. I've done quite a bit of overland stuff with and without other people. I am not a rock crawling, like, throw dirt in the air kind of person, but I understand it. I just don't have that skill or the vehicles to tear them up. But basically, I'm trying to get myself back to healthy after I've had, hi Babs, after I've had a couple of months of kind of hard MS flare up. And so I'm saying that MS has been kicking my butt for a couple of months. It's been really, really challenging. So, 10 inches of snow yesterday here in northern Arizona. I have my dog Wendy and my cat Karma here with me this morning. I'm still finishing my breakfast, which is steak. If you don't like steak, just don't look. I'm so grateful for you all and our community out here on Sundays. You guys have gotten me through a lot of challenging things just because I feel a responsibility and a commitment to always being here for you on Sundays. And so sometimes, Karma, not up there, please. Come down. Karma, come down, please. Come down, please. Go down. Down. Thank you. The cat going where I didn't want him to be. I think the cat needs to go outside. Anyway, I see that, Kate. Thank you, Kate, for remembering the cues. Yes, after I changed my diet back to adding some other things, I think I went a little too far. Plus, but you got to add to it more than that. So I think I added a little too many things, as well as I have been under an incredible amount of stress. Excuse me a second. Come here. Come on, buddy. You guys go outside. Go play. Go play with Wendy. Go ahead. I can't. All right. I think the storm's over, but the signal's still dropping a lot this morning. I've had a couple of long phone calls. I had one, oh my goodness. I visited with a friend yesterday for 5 hours on the phone. I think the call dropped twice yesterday, but that's a long time to be on the phone at the cabin. My internet seems very choppy today, eh? Very choppy, very choppy. My internet seems choppy. I got that. Okay. I'm having some more hot water. I'm currently doing a system reset of my body under doctor's care with a steroid treatment. It worked before. 2 out of 10 words. Okay. Sorry. It's funny because, you know, my phone looks pretty good sitting there, but wow. Well, I don't know how to make the phone signal any better. So I hope it improves a little bit. Check this out, though. Oh. Whoops, you can't see it good that way. Wait. Nope. Can't do it that way. Go back. Let's try that one. There you go. That's the new C6 Rev tent that I got sponsored with, and I just got all the filming done that will pay for that tent. That's kind of cool. I'm afraid to disconnect and reconnect. Oh, somebody sent me a message that will have affected it. If I do this jogging, I don't. Okay. I'm still here. If you are. So these are some today that are showing behind of my little tracker. I still have the Cascadia 4x4 solar panel on the hood. And I was doing some videos on this for this new C6 Rev tent. That pattern on this tent reminds me of a turtle shell, and it is rather pretty, but at a distance it's very camouflaged. Like maybe you can see here. Whoops, got to put my head on that side. It's kind of camouflaged, but there it is. So you'll be seeing some about that. I have a video out about that tent. Move my head again. There we go. I can do that blinky thing. Okay, done. Whoops. I meant to take it off. I guess I could leave it behind me for a while. Nice camo on the tent. Yeah, because it looks like turtle shell. It's a thing. It's what they're doing. I had wanted their razzle tent because it was black and white. And I didn't have a choice, though. They were lovely to send it to me. Yes, I signed a contract with them. Yes, I'm working on fulfilling the contract. But yeah, it's kind of a cool tent. One of the nice things about that tent is it folds like so. The floor, wait, I gotta put my hands a different way. The floor is an 8-inch mattress, and so you disconnect the end of the poles and flop them on the fabric, flip one side of the floor over the other side, and zip it all up. Cool. Okay, Mary. Have a good week. Have a good week. I hope you guys are getting some of this. I hope it's not too bad a connection. I mean, we know how it is. But yeah. So and it's about the size of a double bed, and it has the rain fly, and then it has the, the inner part of the tent, and nice screens and pockets inside of it, and it's really nice. So it also can be used as a rooftop tent or as a in the bed of a truck tent, which is kind of cool. So it's a good, like, some people were saying it's a pretty good starter rooftop tent because it only weighs 25 pounds and there's multiple ways to carry it and use it. But because I have the tracker, now I have placed it on top of the tracker, but I have not moved it on the tracker because, oh, this is the kind of snow we had yesterday. That's the back end of the tracker. That's the kind of snow. Wet, big, yucky snow. Anyway, I haven't moved it with the tracker because the tracker doesn't have any way to tie it down yet. So I'm looking for the pictures. There it is. So there's a picture in a minute of it on top of the tracker. But you see all those attachment points for tying it onto like a roof rack or whatever. I don't have anything to tie it to, so I can't drive with it on the roof of the tracker yet. But that's what we got. This green screen's kind of cool. You guys have seen my new Ninja cooler a little bit. This is the Ninja cooler. I love it. Here at the cabin, this has been fantastical. I did get already, I bought this, that center divider is a cutting board divider thing. And so I did get that. And then this is a picture of it. This is the 30 quart with the, move me, with the drawer open. Okay. And yes, I have meat in the drawer. The top of it's big enough to put 4 blocks of ice. I'm not using 4 blocks of ice, but you can. So anyways, that's that. Okay. Let's be done with that for a few minutes. You have mud. I'll have mud when I try to go out tomorrow, I expect. It's melting. So, what else is going on? I'm working on, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to leave you on that. Done. Nope. Let's go back to something else. There. Nah, let's go back to this. None. So, yeah, I have bedhead. I haven't done my hair yet this morning. You guys are just getting it. It's the way it is. Like I said, I have had such a hard time with my MS that I went to the doctor and I asked if this is when we do a steroid treatment, and he said, I think that's a good idea, and so that's what I'm doing. I don't have another appointment yet, but I can get back in to see him. So I was thinking about checking to see if I had parasite or giardia or something. I've had malaria. I've had other parasites when I was traveling in Central America and stuff. And, in some of those villages, the septic tanks and the wells are too close together, and it doesn't bother them, but it bothers other people. And so I've thought about, well, maybe something like that was bothering me. You know what? Keep it simple. take the steroid treatment, calm my system down. I'm almost done with that treatment. It's up here. Where's that package? I need to look at it again too. Oops. I know, my face right up in there for y'all. Come on down thing. There it is. I can almost reach it. Yeah, it's a little different than the old kind, so it's a little different. But oh, okay. I don't take one yet. But I just have 2 more days left. So I don't have much left. And I've been having a hard time with it because it's like I'm hungry, but I don't want to eat because everything makes me nauseous. And it's weird, but whatever. And so I ate some breakfast. You guys watched me eat that little piece of steak with a little bit of salsa on it, cooked on it. That was tasty. And that's one thing I missed when I was doing Lion Diet, was because I was doing so well. But for a little while, I was missing having flavor. I had to let Wendy in. I occasionally will have, no, I'm not, you are not coming in the back door and having me open the front door. I'm not doing that. Why? You can't get out the backyard again. I'm arguing with the dog. Can I show you her? Oh yeah, you can see her. I'm arguing with her. What? You want out the front? All right, let me get you out the front. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. So, let's see. Can I sit still for a minute today? It's nice to have the sunshine. I'm so grateful for the sunshine. Oh, did you go yesterday and work on the Corvair? So I'm trying to figure out how to lower my stress. I love my job. I'm not quitting my job. Let's just say that, okay? But I need to lower my stress a little. And I realized, see, in about 2 weeks, I'll be debt-free again. Woohoo! That's been a long project, okay? But it'll be the 3rd time, and third time's a charm. Let's not do that ever again. That is too hard. Don't like it. Don't want to be that person. But it's an hour drive to town and an hour drive home. There's 2 hours sitting. Then there's at the office a lot of sitting and a lot of, being indoors and whatever else. I get to work an hour before we open because I want a little time to, relax from an hour drive. And so there's a whole thing, okay? So I'm gone from home from 7 until 7 every day. I don't have time or don't want to. When I get home, I'm so tired. Who wants to go for an hour's walk? I don't want to go for an hour's walk, and I need to go for a walk, whether it's an hour or not. I need to go for a walk. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do about some of this. I had a thought and an idea, and I'm going to run it by Stan before I do anything about it. But I'm also spending about $15 in gas every single day. Depends, every once in a while. Of course, I'm getting ready to change the O2 sensors in the trackers, so that might help with the gas. But, the trackers were made in 98. Mine was in 98. And they weren't made for getting super big number gas mileage, like cars today are. And so if I'm getting 20 miles to the gallon or something like that, I've got a lift kit. I got bigger tires, this stuff, right? And I love my little truck. Don't get me wrong. I love, love, love my little truck. So, but if I'm putting between 10 and 12 and $15 in the tank every single day, that's $300 in a month. I finally took the time to do the math. And I was like, wait, for $300 a month, I bet you I could stay in town part of the week. And then I'd have more time to myself and I could walk a little more often. Hi, Bee on the road. Welcome. Nice to see you. So let's put this out there. And if y'all are into praying about it or whatever you do, let's see if this is a good idea for a while, for me to kind of get a break and calm even more of my system down. What about the idea of, first off, if it's already costing me $300 a month just to go to work, and it's taken 2 hours a day for that part of it, what if I find something where I can be closer to work for many of the days and then just come home on the weekends or something? It's an idea I'm going to entertain, and I'm going to find out if there's any way to do something like that. I think it would. I think it would help me to become my normal healthy even faster. And so I'm considering that. I mean, seriously considering that. I also just got off the phone with my son a little while ago, and he was talking about coming for a visit. And because he bought a new pickup truck and he figured out the math on flying with his wife and baby or driving out, he's thinking about driving out. That would be lovely. So now I can stop worrying about whether the tracker has a back seat or not. And I can start to think about just, getting my life back and feeling okay. And am I making sense to y'all? I think I am. Okay, Wendy is making me exercise today. She got me up and down and up and down and up and down. Come on, you. What's up with your hair? You having a bad hair day? Oh, really? Seriously? You're not even going to say hi to the people on the phone, huh? Okay, all right. It is what it is. Okay. So, all right. What else we got going on? So what do you guys got going on? I'm so grateful to have sunshine. I'm grateful for my cabin and my tracker. I'm grateful for C6 Overland contacting me and asking me if I would like to sign a contract to get that tent. That's lovely. The tent quality is incredible, and it's a very versatile thing. And yes, I was having a bad MS day the day that I put it together, because it came in 2 boxes. It wasn't hard to put together, but it took more space than I kind of have, because it was bad weather the day I put it together. But basically you had to put the foam mattress inside the mattress cover, and then put the mattress cover inside the tent cover, and then put the poles through their sleeves, and then fold it up the way it's supposed to be. And so that day I was struggling with MS, and it was a little hard, but I got it put together enough. And then I was feeling pretty good the other day, and I said, okay, it's time to do the video for them. And I went to do that video, and I had to, I don't know that sound on my phone. What is that? Goodness gracious. Anyway, so the when I did the video filming, I struggled a little bit, but it was because I was so tired and not feeling good, and the weather was not good. And so it was a little bit of a struggle. Yes, I will try the tent after I feel a little better. Yes. Um, the tent weighs 25 pounds. It's just a big square when it's all zipped up. I showed you that. The picture where I showed you on top of the on the roof of the tracker, when you go to move it to set it up, it's a big black square-ish. Let's do that picture. A big black square-ish 8-inch. I think that's 8 inches. Okay, it's big black square, and it's basically the mattress and the floor folded in half. Okay, is what it is. And so that piece is because it's about what would you say, 3 feet, 40 something inches is about 3 feet. Where here it is again. It's about 3 feet square, and it has a couple of really good handles. It's got 4 really great handles on it. But for me, when I was feeling bad, it was a little hard to maneuver at first until I got it on my shoulders, kind of on my back. And I had those 2 really good handles that you can see kind of right there. I had those up here and stuck it on my back, and I could walk around with it even when I didn't feel good. Now, a normal person could just pick it up and walk away with it, right? But that we're talking, I was having a bad MS day, okay? But it only weighs like 25 pounds. It just was bulky. And then I put it down on the ground and unzipped it. And when you fold it open, then all you have to do is take the ends of the tent poles, and they're shock corded, and just put the ends back in the thing and stick them up straight, put them in a little hole on a thing, and that's it. It's very simple to set up. So I think for people who are basically, disabled or older or have small cars, want to sleep in a bigger bed than their car is. I saw on their website that they had a Tesla that they were putting one in. I saw it, like attached to the roof of a Fiat and whatever. So those ideas are pretty cool. I'm just saying. So there we are. So that's that. So it's kind of nice. And the fact that it already has the mattress, you don't have to carry a bunch of like inflatable pads that move around inside the tent. And if you want to move up from just having a ground tent to a rooftop tent, then you get a certain kind of roof rack, and it can be your rooftop tent. That's part of the nice thing about that one. It's kind of nice. Or you could just slide it, you could slide it in the bed of your pickup truck and open it up inside the bed of the pickup truck, and you don't have to attach it to anything. It is a 4-season tent, but remember, it's just your bed, okay? But you can put it in the bed of a pickup truck and sleep in it. So you're up off the ground, and I just think it's kind of versatile. It's kind of nice. So yes, I will. Yeah. And I mean, I know I've been an ultralight, long distance hiker, and I do like the ultralight stuff, and I love a hammock, okay? My goal still with the tracker is to still have the adventure hammock system, hitch mounted hammock that rides all the time on the front of the tracker. That's why I had Jeremy put that trailer hitch on my frame on the front. That's why, because I still want that for myself. But they offered me the tent, and the contract was just a little 2-month contract that I owed them 2 little video clips, and to add their have fun and C6 Outdoors hashtags to my social media. And so here we are. I've already added the hashtags. The video is about ready to go. I just need to watch it. I need to like watch it and make sure I don't need to like edit something, and then I can put it out. And I need to clean up my Google email, and my Google storage is a mess right now. I got to clean that up. But that's that 10. That's kind of cool. And I'm so grateful that they contacted me. That makes me feel better. I also have over 7,000 subscribers. Finally, right? I've been out here a long time, but it's kind of cool that people are finding me again. And I know I don't put myself out there as like I know everything or I'm, super special, because I'm not. I'm just a human being like everybody else. Anybody could do this. Anybody could learn to have the skills I have or the wisdom that comes through some of the things I say. They're things that can be learned. It's not like we don't have the capability for that. It's just that I made some choices in my life that led me where I am. Of course, some of those choices probably led me to also have an autoimmune disease or to get malaria because, I stayed in places with mosquitoes and in third world countries with, standing water or whatever. And because I made those choices, I ended up getting sick. I had something happen, it's what happens in life. So I'm no more special than anybody else in the world. That's just the truth. And I just like anybody else, especially as I get older, just like anybody else, the other day, I'm working on something outside and it wasn't even something big. And I was like, how much longer can I do this? When my MS is kicking my butt, it's so hard to be alone. I really wonder sometimes. And I don't really like to talk about that because I feel like I'm not being strong enough or something. I think that's what it is that I feel like I'm weak if I admit that I wonder. I remember one time, I gotta get Wendy again. She just won't let me sit and talk to y'all. Come on, you. Could you stop going in and out the doors? Could you please? I'm going to open the back gate for you if you keep doing this. Okay. I wonder sometimes if... I remember one time I was driving through Nevada. Not when the car broke down, but I was driving through Nevada near the Hoover Dam. And I remember having trouble with my eyes for a few minutes. And it wasn't bad, but it just was kind of weird. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is going to happen if someday I can't drive because I can't see good? I was like, oh, what would I do? Who would help me drive? I don't want to get like that. I don't want to be like that. I remember in New York being paralyzed one time. Nobody said I was paralyzed. It was weird. And, but later when I learned out about the MS, MS, I realized that I was actually paralyzed that time. And I was like, why am I struggling to walk? That particular time, it was like, why am I struggling to walk? And what am I going to do? I am not going to ride a scooter chair like other people I've seen. I do not want to go out like that. I don't want to look like those people. I don't want to be that. Don't make me do that. I remember, crying about it and like, oh God, please, please, can I not have to be like that? So I don't want to seem weak, but to be honest and to show you guys how somebody can process honestly the realities of life. I have technically have MS. I get scared that I won't be able to do the things I love to do. And I don't know what that kind of life is going to look like. And to be at my age, I'm 66. To be, I never thought I'd get past 25. I thought the world was going to end, before I was 25. So, to be 66 and wondering, what is this that's being handed to me now? Right? And what life can I imagine or envision? What do I want my life to look like now? I've had the tracker back for a month. I've already I drive to work every day, okay? I have put 1,300 miles on that tracker since I got it back in a month. That's the trip almost all the way, halfway across the United States. I'm like, and I didn't even go anywhere. But I'm just saying, what do I want this part to look like? I never thought I'd be here, whatever. But it scares me when I'm having a bad day or when I think I've broke my finger, right? I was like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do when I can't take care of it? So, no, no, I don't think he did the oil change, Jeremy. I think I think Joe only changed my alternator. All the stuff for the oil change is at the shop, but I don't think he did it. If he did, yay. But we were hoping it was going to be done. So, no, this is what 66 looks like. Guys that are new to the channel, please use 3 uppercase Qs if you have a question that I need to answer, or you need a subject, you'd like to have a subject for me to talk about. Use your uppercase Qs, please. I see Jeremy's QQ. Your question, Jeremy, was stay in town? In what and where? I don't know the answer to any of that yet, Jeremy. I'm thinking about it, though. Leanna, am I going to try the mattress after I feel better? Yes, I will. Yes, I will sleep in it. I make comments on or answer questions when you have placed 3 uppercase Qs before your question or comment. Otherwise, I will scroll past it. Thank you all for being here. We're glad you're here. Hey, Iris, I see you. Yeah, I didn't think that Joe got that break-in oil change done, Jer. I could be wrong, Jeremy. I don't know the answer. Okay. Who was president when I was born? I don't know. JFK? I don't know. Who was before JFK? I don't even know. No, I did not protest Vietnam. I was too young. And by the way, watch your comments. Don't be troll-like, okay? We're nice out here. We're nice to each other in like appropriate nice ways, okay? I don't go in for all the political things. I mean, occasionally there's a comment or two, If you were in a campsite or in a personal situation with me, you might hear some things, but I try to keep it off the channel as much as possible. We don't need that. We're out here basically just sharing how you can how you can turn adversity into an adventure. Oh, that was good. Wasn't that good? You guys, we should write that down somewhere. Turn your adversity into an adventure, even if it's a disability. And I have found over the years that I've been able to maneuver life and be adventurous in spite of being disabled and in spite of not knowing that I even had MS. And I hiked on the Appalachian Trail, and I have driven that tracker before the engine blew. I drove it to Baja Sur and back. Um, I've done some pretty interesting things in my life, and we're going to continue that because I'm not going out of here in a scooter chair, and I'm not going to be in a wheelchair, and I'm just not. And I'm going to be a really old woman, and I'm going to be relatively healthy as an old woman if it kills me. Okay, and I mean that as kind of a sarcastic comment because why? Keep it simple. Use what you already have. Travel light and often, changing your perspective is good. I never expected I was going back to work after 20 years of not working, but I am and I love it. And so why not? And I am going to do some other things. So use your uppercase cues, please. Otherwise, I'm going to scroll past. What was that? Oh, Jeremy, I saw your comment about camping at Lyman Lake. Um, I have only camped at Lyman Lake. Oh, nope. I probably camped there a week. But one time it was in my SUV. I think it was in the red Cherokee. Um, because I knew the campground host and they allowed me to camp in their site because I was camping in the car. And the other time somebody, Dee Dee, gave me a night in a cabin. And that was very nice. That was very nice. Have you ever unscrewed the salt shaker in a restaurant? No. I had trouble with jokes and teasing when I was young. Okay. My family was kind of harsh with me and a little bit bullying. And so many things happened to me. I didn't think it was fair to do things to other people. And my brain cells just never think that way. So, no, I never did that. Okay, so we got no more. Okay, no more questions at the moment. Yeah, I could camp at Lyman Lake, but why pay for it? If I'm going to pay for it, I'm close enough to Greer to use my America the Beautiful pass, get half price rent. To me, it's rent. Get half price campsite fee and camp across the street from. I can't remember the name of that. There's a national campsite in Greer, and across the street from it is the primitive site, and it's only with my pass It was only $6. Why not go there? I don't need to spend 25 if I can spend 6. And have a bathroom, a fire pit, and uh, dump my trash and fill my water jugs. Sounds like a thing. Anyways, been there before. That's kind of cool. So, um, no, I'm glad I spoke with a couple of friends recently in the last couple of days. I'm glad I did because I was struggling with how am I ever going to get better? How am I ever going to get back to where I can, get my exercise like I need, which is about, making sure my circulation in my body is correct, and give Wendy the attention she needs after work when all I'm doing is driving so freaking much. So, the travel time to Greer is, I think it's 45 minutes from my place. It's actually just the other side. There's something in my eye. Just the other side of Springerville. So I would hit the grocery store in Springerville and then go to Greer. So it's real close to Springerville. I would say it might be a half hour from the shop, maybe. And I had a third passenger in the car this week, which made me like I was starting to question my having removed the rear seat as well as the seatbelt towers in the tracker. So my tracker is now a 2-seater car. But somebody needed a ride, and I was like, just get in, I'll take you. It's not that far. And luckily, the floor level of the tracker, so the floor level of the front seats goes back behind the front seats to where the floor level for the passenger feet would be the same. Then it goes up, and the back seat used to be on the upper level. Well, for this person, for the short little bit I took them for a ride, I just took Wendy's blanket and set it for them to sit on top of, and they just sat on that ledge, and it wasn't terribly uncomfortable. So I think in a pinch, I'm okay if somebody had to have a ride in a pinch. So I think I'm going to leave it the way it is because the space is really nice with those things out. So, and then after talking to my son and finding out that he's thinking about driving out, he's actually thinking about driving out for Memorial Day weekend. Bummer, there's a little conflict with Zuki Palooza. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out because I really want to do Zuki Palooza too. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I am considering. I have not even figured out where to look to figure out in what manner I could stay at either one of the RV parks or I don't know what right now. But the first thought was that the lot rent at the RV parks in St. John's is very close to the $300 that I'm spending in gas already. And Lyman Lake would be too expensive for a month. That would be crazy. But the RV parks aren't that expensive. So, yes, I could sleep in my tracker, but am I ready for that? I don't know. Yes, I have more than one tent. I could do tent camping, but that's not what I'm thinking I want because I'm working and I want more than just a place to sleep. And I want to feel like I can have a life again. I want to feel comfortable and then go walk Wendy. The lot rent in St. John's, I don't remember the exact amounts. I know some of the lower end RV parks are really inexpensive. They often are full and there's often drama. I don't need that. But I'm working. So, and I don't need to bring a lot of stuff with me. But of course, under normal circumstances, I don't even own a lot of stuff. The things I have at the cabin right now are all about finishing some projects and getting this into just a very basic, nice but basic, comfortable place. And so, no, I don't have all the answers. And I see Jeremy thinking, and I can smell Jeremy's wheels turning as I see his comments go by on the screen. But I don't have the answers right now. Okay, that's just the way it is. I don't. If I had access to a truck camper, if I had access to somebody's camp trailer that they're not using or something for a little while, I would probably do something like that. I really don't want to clean up a bunch of rat shit, but I would have Wendy with me, and if necessary, I would train Karma to travel, if necessary. I would first try to see if Karma can stay home alone, but if he can't, then I would train him to a leash for walks because he likes to walk with Wendy and I. And he already knows how to be in the crate. So he could ride in the crate to start with. And I could train him to, if I need to. I don't want to lose him. He's a good cat. That's end of story. So, and if I had to leave the cabin during the week for a little bit, I could go ahead and invest in those really annoying, noisy, sound emitting little solar things to keep the rats and the animals away. So that's why. Chips, I have no freaking idea. And I have no idea. Can't answer you. So I wonder if I could show you. I just saw a pile of snow. No, I don't think I can do this. Oh, yeah, maybe I can. There's a pile of snow on that tree outside that window. Right there. And I just saw half of it fall. The sun is starting to melt that all. There's gonna be snow melt mud. I'm just saying it's gonna be crazy mud. And it won't be long before that crazy mud. Now, when I get ready to go out and go to work tomorrow, I will most likely. Now, my tracker is a manual. What do you call it? Locking hubs. So I will put it in 4-wheel drive before I leave the driveway, because the 1.5 miles getting out to a county road is sometimes pretty wonky. So I will do that whether I need it or not. So I'll put it in 4 high and go out in the morning because of that. Oh, is it? Ah, got it. It is. Okay, it is 4/20 is the date. And today is Easter for those people who keep that holiday. I have a belief in the great creator, and but I don't celebrate Easter. I don't believe that that's the way to celebrate that event. Anyway, and then there are all the people in the world who equate 4/20 with one of their recreational habits. See, didn't I do that with tact? I hadn't looked at the date. And those things, I don't think of those things. So, yeah. So, Jeremy and whoever else is interested in my idea about maybe going in town for a little bit to try and help myself recover faster and not be quite as stressed or quite as affected by the MS. I think this may be a good um, possible solution. It will also allow Jess to be able to continue working here. And because he's continuing to work on my screened in back patio and things, he'll be able to keep an eye on the place. And hopefully, if Karma Kitty, Karma Kitty, he's a cat. But if Karma Kitty can maneuver stay in here, then Jess can keep an eye on him and make sure he's fed. But if he starts having a problem, then I'll train him to be a traveling cat. That's my idea. So Jeremy, I haven't done it yet. I texted Stan earlier. I was gonna ask Stan if he knew of anybody that had a little travel trailer that wasn't currently being used that I might be able to maneuver doing what I'm thinking of. And I also was going to check where could I, what would be the best place for me to stay close to work, closer, more close by work. Okay, my English was way off. But stay closer to work and still have some of my private time, personal space, stuff like that. And yeah, the RV park sounds like a good idea. It might be full for the summer, I don't know. But I know some people just left for Colorado, so there might be some spaces open, I don't even know. But I don't want to spend too much money. But, like I said, if I'm spending $300 in gas, then not driving means there's $300. Plus I'll be out of debt. But I don't want to spend all the money. I just want to cut back on some of my stress. Oh, cool, Jer. I saw that. But that's because I pay attention to yours. I pay attention to yours because I know you forget to do the cues. And I know, yeah. Oh, well, that's cool. I really don't want to, this sounds bad. I'm not trying to be ungrateful or anything. I'm just saying, I've been through so much in my life and I have cleaned some nasty, crappy things. I really hope I don't have to clean some nasty ass trailer in order to use it. And yet at the same time, I used to renovate. Is that the right word? I didn't restore, but I took old trailers and flipped them by cleaning them up, patching holes, making them usable again, and keeping them very simple and basic. And then I would try living in them for a minute, and then I would sell them, and then I would move on to another project. And I've done 5 of those over the years. And in fact, come to think about that, I should ask my son. He's thinking about in May. I should ask my son about that trailer I think he bought. I think he bought an Apache Mesa pop-up. Those are nice. I just don't like the setup. But if you're only setting it up once in 6 months or a year, what difference does it make, right? But it would be nice. See, when I started off on this living in vans and stuff, well, not in 1978, but the second time I started off in 2009, 10, whatever. I wanted to get a Jeep Wrangler and a 13-foot Scamp trailer. So a Scamp trailer is a fiberglass trailer, the little tiny one. And I wanted to have the axle changed on the Scamp trailer to be a Jeep axle so that one, it could go anywhere a Jeep Wrangler could go. Two, I would only have to have one spare tire because the tires could match. And then I was going to put either a tiny wood stove in it for heat, or I was going to put I had a boat stove that I could cook on and ran off of alcohol. And so it was heat and cooking. And I was going to just use that. But then that thing I didn't know at the time, but it actually, they wear out after 10 years. I didn't know that. But so it finally wore out. And now I would look at maybe diesel heaters or something, but vented ones, right? Just to be safe, because my system gets so sensitive. So, so I had actually bought the Scamp when I had the van. My van was called Van Tucket, and anyways, and so I towed the Scamp around with the van for a year while I was renovating the Scamp, and then the rear axle bearings went on the van. That's when I had already been up here to the property. I didn't own it yet. I had already met Stan, but we were traveling near Tucson, near the Kit Observatory down in Tucson area, down that way. That's when the axle bearings went in the back of the van. I was in Elephant Butte when those went, and at Elephant Butte State Park in New Mexico, in Truth or Consequences. And that went, and I was stuck in the Scamp without the van, and the mechanic shop wanted the van for 2 weeks. And my day to leave the campsite was the next day. So I had to go get special permission from the park rangers to stay longer. They didn't like it, but they let it happen. And as soon as I got the van, I went down to Caballo State Park in New Mexico, down south. And so I still had the Scamp. I got so sick. I think the stress of all that happening was too much. Not knowing, at that time I didn't know I had MS. And I got super sick. And one day, one of the people I was traveling kind of near, okay, one of the people saw me one day. We were having dinner together. We cooked together at a picnic table, and we were, whatever we were doing. And we were talking about the next day's trip. And they were like, well, I'm going to get up at this time, and I'm going to go to this place. And so when you get up, you go ahead. And he goes, but because of everything that's happened with the van, I'd like you to kind of travel close by, because I want to kind of keep eyes on you and make sure the van's okay. And I was like, all right, that makes sense. And there were like 3 of us. I hadn't had Ozzy very long, my old Yorkie that passed a few years back. So the little group of us kind of going together. And we got up, everybody's ready to leave. And I'm like, let me go to the bathroom one more time, and then let's go. And I went in the bathroom, and I came out, and the guy went, what is wrong with you? And I went, what? He goes, you went in there, you looked your normal self. You look like you're 90 years old right now. What just happened? I don't know. I don't feel good. I ended up in the hospital. Okay? And now I know it was MS related, but I didn't know that then. And the doctors had no answers for me, and I was in the hospital for almost a week. So those people moved on, and I lost contact with them. Okay? But, well, for a while. I lost contact for a while. And then when I got out of the hospital and I started to feel better and I was beginning to move around, I went back and picked up the Scamp at Caballo State Park. They had left it as they had left the van and the scamp together with the campground host at Caballo, because I was rushed to the hospital. And so, which was back at Elephant Butte, Truth or Consequences. And so, when I got out, I got my ride back. I got back there. I got the van. I got the scamp. And then I got a hold of those couple of people we were traveling with. And they were like, we're down, blah, blah, blah. Come on down here. Spend the night near us. And I did. And then the next day, one of them said, I want to take you up to the observatory. So let's go as a group. Let's go up there. So I took it and the van up there, which some people were like, you took the van? First off, the van, and second off, that you're towing the trailer. I was like, well, what else was I supposed to do? Everybody else was going. So I just did. So I didn't see the sign that said don't take campers up. Well, anyways, I went up. We had a good day up there. And then we came back down and I started advertising it because I realized that I advertising it for sale because I realized that here I was stuck for a while without a driving vehicle. And that was not a good idea. And so I owed one of the guys that I was camping with for the repairs to the axle on the van. And it was like $1,200 or something. And I was like, I was probably making about $700 a month on my Social Security disability. So it was like, nah, I can't owe you money that long. So let me sell the scamp so I can pay for the repairs to the van and let me make a new plan. But honestly, my plan had been Jeep Wrangler, scamp trailer, changing the axle on the scamp to a Jeep axle, so the spare would be all the same, so the scamp could go more places than an average one would have been able to go. And then when I bought the property, I knew that I could use the scamp here, and rats won't get in them the same, the fiberglass. They don't get in them the same as they do other campers. And if I ever got really sick as an older person, anybody could tow a 13-foot scamp down to town and put it in an RV park. That was a good idea. It's still a good idea. It's not what's happening, but it was a really good idea. And so, I think about that once in a while. That was a really good idea. I wish I had done that. Whatever. But, I had to sell the scamp in order to pay the guy off for fixing the van because I couldn't see my way to having enough money to just pay him off. So it was a whole thing, but I got it done. I survived. I got here. Then, COVID year came and building the cabin became a thing because, well, if the shit's going to hit the fan, most all of us have got our kitchens and bedrooms in our vehicles, but we're going to need a place to hang out if the weather's bad up here. So that's why I built the cabin. And that's the way that is. Okay, let me go back here. Oh, I just saw Jer's comments. Yeah, I wasn't meaning you, Jer. I just meant if I had to clean something, I've been through so much lately. I'm just not in the mood for taking on another one of those projects like I have done in my past. And that wasn't about you. I'm just saying. Concho Lake Campground is 20 minutes from John's. Think about it or check it out. Okay, I would have to. I don't know much about that at all. Concho Lake Campground. Okay. I would have to figure that out. Anyways, that's that conversation. Oh, do we know anybody that needs solar systems? I got contacted by the Waye company. I struggled with that system. It's still sitting here and it's still for sale. Okay. But they have made some changes to their product, and they have a warehouse in California with solar systems in it. And they sent me an email No, a text message with an interesting offer. I have not taken them up on it because I don't think I want to do that. Um, but they have solar systems in a warehouse in California for super crazy ass cheap. Super crazy ass cheap. And they said to me, if you would like to come get some and sell them or hand them out or use them, um, we just need to arrange that. And I just went, if I was closer to where somebody needed them, that would be useful. But so I don't know what to say about that right now. So, what do we got for more questions and comments and stuff like that? Yeah, Beth, I know, and you're in North Dakota. Bummer. Um, but if nothing happens with what I got anytime soon, I don't know when I'm getting near North Dakota, but you never know. Or when somebody who's driving a semi that's a friend is going that way or coming close by, things could get put in a truck if we trusted them. There's, yeah. But, so for right now, we had a lovely Passover because I keep Passover, not Easter. But, anyways, um, I was able to spend Passover dinner, like to me, it's called night to be much observed because that's what the Bible calls it. Um, I was able to spend that with a friend, a couple of friends, and I was able to help them learn how to simply cook leg of lamb and make very simple unleavened bread. We made three different flavors. I made a plain one with just salt. We used encorn flour that I have that came from France. Um, it's expensive, but we used it. That's what it was for. Um, because it's healthier and not enriched, right? And so we made the plain salted one, and then we made a chive and just chive, just chive one, and then we made one with cinnamon and honey, and it was lovely. We had a nice dinner. We had some fresh grated horseradish, which is lovely. Love it. Of course, fresh grated horseradish once or twice a year will like get rid of parasites, as will other things. So we had that, and it was just lovely, just peaceful, calm, gentle little night. But we had a lovely night, and it was cloudy, so we couldn't see the full moon until after I was like driving home, and I caught a glimpse through the clouds because Passover is always a full moon, or night to be much observed is. Passover day, like the day that um, Christ was crucified, would have been the day before. Um, and then when he actually died, and then the calendar has been changed over the years so much that things are not the way they used to be. So it used to be that there were 13 months in the year because there were 13 moon cycles. And so I have started to get more familiar with the moon cycles. I have operated more of my life by the sun and moon cycles than clocks. I learned years and years and years ago. Some people can't wear a watch because it will run backwards or something. And like when I had the metal fillings in my teeth if I put a metal fork in my mouth, not a stainless, I mean, not a sterling silver, but just a regular fork in my mouth, I could hear radio stations and stuff, and it was like, this is annoying. So, I changed some of those things in my life a long time ago. So, I tend to get tired when the sun goes down, and I tend to want to wake up just before the sun is waking up because I like that early morning. I like to be outside and feel the sunshine. I mean, I'm kind of like that. So I've been paying more attention to those moon cycles in order to calculate, um, more or less, the Sabbaths and holy days. And so I feel like I'm doing a better job of that by paying attention to the moon cycles more. And so, like this month, most Sabbaths have been on Sundays this month instead of on Saturdays. So I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about. Box turtles have 13 main squares around their shells. I had no idea. Really? Turtle stepped that one. Oh, that's what I've been doing is a few shorts for you guys with turtle steps. Like the day I first started taking my medication, this batch of medication for the MS to try to get better again, calm my system down, I was like, I'm turtle stepping my way to work. I smiled. I got in the car. I walked around the driveway first. I took my medicine. I'm going to work. I turtle stepped by setting a boundary with the person who rides with me. They didn't do anything wrong, but I have known for a long time that I need to leave. I need to pick them up at 7:30, or I'm not making 8 o'clock opening the shop. We don't open till 9, but I need time on the other end to like wake up and stop driving and sweep the floor and wash the toilet and whatever, get ready for work. And hi Donna Kay. So I set a boundary. They weren't at the stop at 7:30, and I was like, I'm gonna have to leave you. I gotta go. If you're coming fast, I'll wait. But if you don't, I'm gone. So yeah, there you go. There you go. So hmm, I don't know what else to talk about right now. I think Karma must be washing himself. I hear him licking. I can't see him though. Oh, thank you, Leanna. I, fe- I feel like seeing my face on the phone screen as I'm talking to you all. I feel like I look better as well. This eye is still dark. Got it. But I do feel better, and I think my face is thinning out a little bit, and I don't have those big red patches I was getting. I'm also being really careful with my food right now. I have found some things that I can consistently have that seem to be good for Lesa. So, but I am being really, really careful. Thank you, Beth. Thank you. Yeah. 'Cause I know I've been looking kind of beyond peaked. But I keep telling you guys, I know my whole life, my emotions are, what is it they say? You wear your emotions on your sleeve. You could tell if I'm sick. It's like it's all it's all over me. I can't hide shit. It just doesn't work. Greg! Oh, it's so nice to see you, Greg from Houston. I miss you, Greg. We've had some good camping times together. Remember that time I can't remember exactly where we were, but we were walking through maybe it was over near Joshua Tree. We were walking through some thing of rocks, and one of the rocks looked like a skull. And somewhere I saw one of those pictures the other day and I went, oh, that was a fun time with Greg. That was fun. We were like walking all over looking at these funny rock formations. That was cool. I miss that. I miss those things. And Greg, working around Joe and with Joe's wife, Teresa, coming in and out of the shop quite often, they both are very Catholic. And they're Catholic in a different way than I've ever experienced. So I don't know that much about the whole Catholic thing, but I know when you converted over to Catholicism, I know you put some space between you and me because of the way I talk and about my beliefs being a little bit different. But I really have a respect for Joe and Teresa's way of keeping their beliefs. And maybe it's not so different from what I believe. It just has different words sometimes. But, anyways, interesting. I'm loving the blueberries you accidentally left here, and the unleavened bread. Just had enough for the week. Oh, that's wonderful. And the blueberries, look, I buy those at the market in St. John's. They have for like $5.99 a bag in the frozen section. They have those. I forgot what brand it is. Why? It's not Weiler's. Begins with a W, I think. Anyways, wild Maine blueberries or wild blueberries, and they're little tiny ones. And that's what I grew up with. You know, we had blueberry bushes in the backyard, so um, and backyard was not the kind of backyard an average like urban place would have. But anyway, um, I do well with blueberries. So I'm so glad you're enjoying those, Leanna. Oh, Weiler's. It is Weiler's. Okay. Yeah. 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 I like those quite a bit. And I found that in my trying to continue to eat very, very clean and without as many, to eat as many clean products and least processed whole foods as I can. I don't do well with potatoes. I can eat them, but not very often. I don't do really good with potatoes. Um, but I do pretty well with cassava products. So, okay, cassava being tapioca flour or um, yuca in Central America. Anyways, um, I do pretty good with that. So I've been letting myself, during unleavened bread, I've been letting myself have the Siete brand taco shells. They're not leavened and they're cassava and pumpkin seed meal. And both of those things are good for parasite cleansing as well. So I was like, I'm just going to let myself have them during unleavened bread. And I do well with blueberries. I know the last time I had a pomegranate, I did good with pomegranate. Um, I did pretty good. I do pretty good with sour cream because sour cream is a fermented product. But in my world, I struggle to get raw milk, first off. I would do that above all the things I'm going to talk about right now. Um, but I don't like cottage cheese at all. Like, gag. Ugh, can't. Don't make me. Um, but I have done really well with sour cream because sour cream has three ingredients: cream, enzymes. Wait a minute. And salt? No. Am I thinking the wrong thing? I was going to say salt, but oh, maybe it's cream, milk, and enzymes. Okay, but other brands. Okay, so that's dairy sour cream. Uh, uh, yeah, dairy, Daisy sour cream. Okay, I could do that one. But the store brand down at the market, which I forget, Food Lion or whatever it is down there at the market, I don't even remember what it is. Theirs has got carrageen and vitamin B3 and D and I don't even remember, and ferric oxide or something. And but that carrageen word, I just stay away from it. So I will not do cream cheese, regular sour creams. A lot of the butters I can't do. I can do Land O'Lakes is very, very clean. I can do that. And Daisy sour cream I can do. Um, but yogurts that are available to me in my area, that's another thing that I have trouble with because any of the ones that say pectin, I get sick. But if I can get one that doesn't have pectin, that is just usually it's whole milk, maybe cream, enzymes, salt if it has salt. I don't remember. But anyways, like hardly any ingredients, I'm okay with it. But if I any of those extra ingredients, I can't do them. So I found that I can't find a good plain yogurt close to me without like going a distance. So I found that I could do the Daisy sour cream instead. So sometimes I get the little tiny 8 ounce sour cream and I take those frozen blueberries and mix them together. And that's like my treat, like my ice cream. And I do okay with that. Oh yeah, yeah. That was when we went to see uh Wolf. That was a fun. That was Thanksgiving. That's right. We did Thanksgiving and Donna and Mark were there. That was interesting. Ah, thank you, Greg. Love you, Greg. But yes, that's by the way, my growing season here at the cabin is very similar to southern Maine. So it's right around zone 5. Now, some people will argue that I don't know what I'm talking about. The people who think they're the guru gardeners around here don't believe me. But I have grown all kinds of stuff here successfully. And I have this one spot where I've been wanting to put a blueberry bush, and I bet it'll grow just fine. But blueberry bushes back home were, not very big. They were little and little tiny berries. But that's a good wild blueberries, whatever. Yeah. And I know they could winter over, and it would love it under the edge of that juniper tree over there by the fence, kind of over there, but inside the yard. I think they would love it there. Someday I may do that, but I've got to lower my stress level without giving up the things I'm loving. And I love working at the shop, so I don't want that. I'm not giving that up. But I got to lower my stress level, and I've got to stop sitting so much. But it's challenging. One, because of how I am at the front desk at work, and the other coworker that works right beside me, and the getting up and down and being walked behind, and the I just, look. I'm trying to be careful of the words I'm using because it's not on purpose. But when somebody's walking behind you, the scraping your back, the tripping on your chair, those kinds of things. It's normal. It's not on purpose. It's not mean. It's just it happens. And then when we needed the bookshelf for the files, which are I have binders instead of files, I needed it right there, you know. And so it's like she got to get behind me and then scoot around that, and then there's the dog things, and it's all good. It's all good. We just do what we got to do. But yeah, so. Oh, Catherine, Greg, she my sister first. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. So what else do we want to talk about this week? Me and I never brushed my hair this morning. Do I have any more drink? I think I'm gonna get out while you guys are here. Oh, do you want to see inside the like you need to, right? But I'm gonna show you anyways. Let's see. Okay, here's the. Okay, this is a silicone mat because I had my hot cup on top. I don't want to mess up the cooler. I love this Ninja cooler. I'm just saying. So I did get this cutting board divider. I did finally get one. And I usually buy a block of ice. Now the wood stove's been running for days, okay? This bag was 1 block of ice. It's only water. I'll take that out and it'll be trash. This one still has ice in it. It's still chunky ice. But this water over here is colder than the one that's down in here. And so I can fit 2 blocks of ice in one side of that top part, which is kind of nice. But 1 block of ice lasts me a whole week in there. I just love this cooler. How many times can I say I love this cooler? And the fact that it has the drawer. All right, let me get you turned back around. Okay, the fact that it has the drawer on it, you know, they're calling it a dry drawer, right? Because it is dry. It stays dry, but it stays really cold and it works really good. So, anyways, just really love it. That finger is very sore that I kind of messed up yesterday. I think it's more bruised than anything, but when I went to go to bed last night, I snapped it and it popped really loud. Like maybe I had it out of joint a little bit. It was really, but it's probably bruised a little. It's sore. I'm okay though. So I'm gonna have some. You guys got a drink? You know, I used to do that. Drink with me. It's not summer yet, but you know, drink with me anyways because even though it's not summer, it's a good idea. And you know, I got to loving Pellegrino. Wow. The cup holder on the chair is very dirty inside because when I set this wet bottle in that cup holder, ick. I need to wash that cup holder out. You know what? They should have put a grommet right in the center bottom of that cup holder so the crap would go out. What was that? I just watched the show about the Salton Sea and thought about the times we camped in the area. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Cool. You know, that's the Salton Sea. Salton City is where Stan and I went to pick up my tracker too. That's where my tracker came from. Was that same general area. It was actually on the California side, but oh yeah, that was nasty. Ugh. Okay. I kind of washed it out. You guys didn't even see that. Yeah. I don't like drinking out of plastic bottles, but convenience factor and everything else. And when I get the big glass bottles that I do like, but when I get those big glass bottles, I end up drinking one of those big glass bottles in a day, which would be okay with me. It's $2. When I can find it for $2, it's $2. That's okay, $2 a day for Drinking water would be okay in a general sense, but carrying it and the glass bottles is a whole thing. Now, if you're in an area where there's off-grid people that are building kind of bohemian things and they want the glass bottles for a wall, that's different. But yeah, I wish we didn't have to do so much plastic. And I would rather do this. So I'm doing this. Can you see the bubbles? I guess I just like the bubbles. There's supposed to be some minerals in it. And when I was Lion Diet, there was something about my Pellegrino and my steak, and I was pretty good. So, when I'm having trouble, I go back to Pellegrino and a steak. Let's go for it. And if I eat steak for breakfast and I'm hungry again at lunchtime, I'll do it for lunch too. But often it's only twice a day just because I'm not that hungry. So, steak for breakfast or late breakfast. I might not eat breakfast until 11, 1. And then I eat again at maybe 4 or 5. That's okay. I used to do that. That was how it was. Anyway. Okay. Pellegrino. Yep, that finger's sore. I haven't looked under the Band-Aid. I don't want to see right now. I knew I scraped a big chunk of skin off. My hand got between the tent and my fence. And those little wooden slats aren't very thick. And that kind of hurt. Yeah, that kind of hurt. But I've had to run the wood stove. Now it's comfortable inside right now. Well, it's actually 75 in here right now. But it's pretty comfortable because outside it's like 58 or something. That's pretty comfortable temperature. And then, of course, I cooked. When you guys were first coming on, I was making that cup of hot water and steak. And the wood stove still has a few coals in it. So I'm really looking forward to having the back patio finished up. I think when Leanna and Howard are ready to go back to Sholo again, I'll have them pick up a few more supplies with their pickup truck. Because Jess needs flashing that goes from the wall to the roof for the back patio. And he needs some specialized roofing caulk. And once we have those here, and once Jess dislocated his pinky finger. So once that's over with, then he'll be working on that. And then at some point, I think I finally have decided I'm going to spend the extra money over time, but I'm going to spend the extra money, and we're going to build the half wall for that back patio out of the same T111 siding that's on the rest of the cabin. So when it's all painted, it'll all match. So that's what we're going to do. And then the top half will be screen, and then as I can afford to do it, we'll start on the weather side first, which is my west, and we'll make storm windows, maybe out of plexiglass. I don't know the answer yet, depends on the cost. But and we'll try to make them so they're hinged, so you can pull out the bottom to get air even if there's water. And then if not, you can take them all the way off if it's really hot or whatever. But that's the goal, is to have it like that. That's where we're headed with that. That's going to be nice. And the last couple of weekends ago, Dennis patched my shower house started off as a kind of foot by 5 foot square. I didn't own a ruler or a level when I started that shower house. So it never was square, and it was an odd size. Okay, it just never was right. But that's because I just eyeballed it and I did the best I could. So that uh so it's a not square building. It's a little off, but it has the big batch composting toilets in it. And oh, I never got those videos out yet. See, I just don't have enough time in the day when I'm driving 2 hours. There's a whole, yeah. I think this is a good move, though, trying to get closer to work during the week so that I'm not driving so much. I think it will help. Anyway, so the shower house, because it's like it needs to be rustic because of what it is. But eventually, I want to paint that to match the cabin as well. And I can pretty it up and make it look like it was planned to be the way it is. So the plan is between the two big barrels, there's enough space for the shower floor. Well, the shower floor is going to be made out of cement with a drain to a bucket of rocks buried underground. Okay. But that basically is making sure the water is like feeding a tree. Okay. But so it will have some cement, a drain, and then it will have like patio pavers that you stand on to take your shower. And so there's enough room between the two barrels to do that. And then the hand wash station, sink, whatever you want to call that, will be little, but its drain will go into the same drain system as the shower will. And so all of that's already set up. I just got to finish it. And then we can like paint and make it look better. Because it's all built out of scrap material. But a couple weekends ago when Dennis was here, there was a spot that was really bugging me that I hadn't been able to enclose. He fixed it for me. So now, earlier this winter, it was snowing and I had to go to the bathroom, and I'm out there going to the bathroom with snow blowing on my back. That's not really fun. I'm not saying it's horrible. It's better than, having to go to the bathroom and go out under a tree and dig a hole. Okay? It's way better than that. But it was like, okay. But now that it's closed in, it's not as dirty or dusty in there or anything. I mean, now I can see we can like make this a little neater, and it can be nicer because it's not getting wet, it's not getting dusty, it's warmer in there. I bet I can take showers in there more of the year than I am now. I get concerned about putting in a propane tank for one of those nice camp propane showers. It would work really good, but I'm so scared of my allergic reaction to propane that I really hesitate to do that. But honestly, I have used them. They don't make me sick as long as they vent. They're outside enough that they vent. They don't make me sick to take a shower in that water. It just scares me that I'll smell the propane and not be able to think to shut the tank off. And that could be a problem. So I don't want to have that problem. So I'm good with boiling my water over my stoves or fires or whatever, campfires, whatever. And that's why I got this one big insulated drink jug, because the water will stay hot longer. And so I can pour the water in there, and then that will be what we pull the water out of for taking a shower. I think that's a good idea. And so with it more enclosed like it is now, I could take that kind of a hot shower in cooler weather. Maybe not in the coldest of weather, but it just snowed the other night. And I was imagining this, and it was like, Yeah, I could probably take a shower and not have a problem with that. So it might be fine. So whenever you go back to your doctor's, right? Yep. And I know you'll let me know when that is so I can pay for it ahead of time. I'll just pay online like I did last time. That's pretty simple. Oh, and that trip I'll get 2 pressure treated 4x4s for the front porch because I think I have enough 2x4s when I get 2 more 4x4s that we can do the porch railings for the front porch. Because now that this is a real home, approved by the county, we can do those things and finish it up. And I already paid Dennis to finish my kitchenette, but I'm not pushing that because the weather's been bad and stuff. Not pushing that, finishing up that job yet, because as we finish, I might change it and have him, well, not change it much, but instead of having him doing it on the inside of this wall, might have him do it on the outside of the wall, on the patio side, because once that's enclosed and has a door and everything, I probably won't even want to cook in here. So, but we'll see. We'll see. We will see. And in talking, oh, I told you that. Talking to my son this morning, he's talking about driving the truck out with the wife and baby. I don't know if I'll let him have the tent that I just got, but when he saw it, he got all excited about it. So the fact that they could come here and they could sleep in the bed of their truck in that tent is pretty cool. So we'll maneuver some of that stuff. I'll try it out myself, of course, but I almost can't wait. Something I did. I'm embarrassed to say this, but I almost can't wait to have the opportunity soon to just sleep in the tracker again, because I, working with that video in the tent the other day, I was like, I bet the first time I can sleep in the tracker, it's probably going to feel like I'm back home. And I kind of miss it. So that's a little embarrassing. I don't know why, but it is. I've been so freaking tired lately. You know, MS comes with this fatigue. And I haven't known to use the word fatigue much, but it makes you this weird kind of tired, like you just can't get rested enough to make it okay. And I think that's why I'm looking at the option of kind of getting closer to town for a minute, because I think it's just I love it here. Don't get me wrong at all. Please don't get me wrong. But I think this is a piece of trying to take care of myself so I can get better and be better and find my life again, or design a new life or whatever. Okay, I feel like I talked enough. So, do you guys have more questions and stuff? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Catherine. I gotta make one more comment about the sister thing. Um, Actually, Catherine, I think Greg was my brother first. Because I think I met Greg way before I met you. We could tease about that. I think that's a good teasy thing. Um, and what am I doing this afternoon? I don't even know. Because it's been muddy and snowy. When Wendy comes in, she gets quite a little bit of sand on things. So I'm going to end up, okay, sweeping the floor takes how long? 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because it's so tiny. But I will be doing that. I'll be shaking out the extra, like the shirt I wore yesterday that's still laying over there near the bed. I'll have to shake the sand out of that from Wendy getting up on it. Knock off my snow boots from the mud that got on them. Stuff like that. But there's, not much more. Not much going on. Um, and Catherine, yeah, I think about you guys. No, I haven't got down there yet. Who was I? Oh, I was talking to G the other day, and he mentioned. Um, I was gonna say the couple's name. I know they've been hanging out there near you somewhere. Um, that have the YouTube channel, and I started to say it, and I might have been right, but for some reason I said no. Do I plan on working at the shop for long term? I don't know the answer. Stan wants to sell the shop and retire at some point. Um, I don't know, but right now I want to build up a good emergency fund, and I'm getting so close to getting a few projects done that I think I should just do it a little bit longer. So I don't know the answer. And that answer has to be okay because I just don't. Um, my YouTube channel is doing well. I'm over 7,000 um, subscribers, and they're starting to want to send me $100 checks more often. If I spent more time on the YouTube channel, which could happen if I would just take this break from driving so much, then I could be making a better income off of YouTube. That is possible because I have quite a few people. Um, Camper Van Kevin put me on a video not long ago, and I got a few people from over there. People find us on our lives on Sundays and realize that we're a cool community. I did not um, do Patreon yet, although my website guy asked me to. But all those things, to me, those things are work too. And so that's why I'm bringing them up. It's like I kind of go back and forth between working at the shop, which when I walk away, I can go, all right, not till Monday, or the video stuff, which is worthwhile. Um, but sometimes I feel like I have confusion over whether I'm useful to anybody or not with the YouTube stuff. And then everybody pats me on the back, and I'm going, well, okay, I guess I'm helping somebody. So, I don't know the answers, guys. I miss the Overland Expo events and teaching and my, community of like Overland family. I kind of miss those people. But the way I've been feeling the last month, I couldn't keep up with them on a trip. That would have been really hard. So I don't know. Gone boondocking, David. Don't know. Okay. Sleeping in the tracker one night here and there will seem like a vacation. I expect it will. I'm just not quite. I'm like, how come I haven't done it yet? Well, because it's been cold. I just haven't yet. That's all. Just yet. And I have to teach Wendy how to do this. Wendy's a good traveler, but I have to teach her how to do some things. Um, she'll adapt. It's just if I had to take karma too, that's But we could teach him how. He's become such a good cat. Can't you see me out there in the tracker with a dog and a cat? Hmm. But I'm just so not so interested in the what they're calling nomad side of things. The van lifer people, yeah, I kind of understand them, but there's the van lifers that have a lot of money people, and then there's the nomads who are like the practically homeless people kind of, and there's this big divide thing, and I'm more, maybe I have more in common with the overland community because I like the driving on dirt roads kind of stuff. And I like those long trips to foreign countries. And my round the world travel that I started but never finished is more related to the overland people's thought patterns. So I don't know. I just feel like that community is different. And I loved when I went to Zuki Palooza and I'm hanging out with the guys and we all have Suzukis. And that was just sitting around talking engine parts that I didn't even know what they were talking about. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. And, now that I can eat eggs and I can have, not just eggs, but I can have eggs and beef bacon. Of course, I don't eat pork, but um, I can have eggs and beef bacon for breakfast when everybody else is having their bacon and eggs, right? And I can have a nacho taco kind of burrito kind of thing, as long as I'm careful with how those tortillas or taco shells are made, okay? Um, or I make them myself. And then I can have roast or what is it? People call it brisket all the time, right? It's just freaking roast. Um, but anyways, I can have roast, I can have a steak, I can have, whatever and still be okay. So I guess I just feel like becoming encouraged to get my life back again. Um, will you keep him in a harness while traveling? Uh, Karma, yeah. I would expect that I would need to harness him. Um, he knows how to be in the crate because the crate has been one of his hidey spots outside on the back patio ever since he was a kitten. And so it's the same crate that Wendy uses. And so they know how to be in there together, even. So, but I would expect I would have to get him used to a car for one, because I think he's only been in the car the one trip to come here. He's never been in the car to go anywhere. And so I'd have to get him used to that. And then I'd have to, I imagine, get him used to being on a lead because he's used to having a lot of freedom. So, but to be close to us, he could learn it. Um, and I expect. Oh, oops! Did I forget to push the button? Oh, there we go. I did. We almost lost my battery. Um, and some cats will sit on a windowsill or a perch. And I've seen for RVs those like cat hammocks. Oh, actually, I own a cat hammock now that I'm thinking about it. He probably would love a cat hammock inside the car. He'd probably love it. And then to have him on a leash with the cat hammock hanging under the chair that I'm sitting in, that would work, I would think. I don't know. We'll have to decide whether I'm going to need to. Oh, wow, Kate. There you go. Hey, I'm sorry that happened for you, but vehicles do break down. That is one of the realities of living in a vehicle, is that it's going to break down, and hopefully you can prepare ahead so that you're not too displaced from your housing when the breakdowns happen. That, I think, would be the goal. It's sort of like make sure the tires are good before they go bad, right? Because you need the shoes on your vehicle and everything else. And if you're looking for something you can stand up in, yeah, that makes sense. Um, a lot of people like the larger rigs. I saw a project vehicle, but I don't know how you'd feel about that. Um, Around the Phoenix area on Marketplace the other day. Um, yeah, exactly. You don't. And that's why I feel bad about the way my breakdown happened in Nevada with the tracker. The fact that the part I feel bad about is the fact that I know how to long distance hike, and I had part of that gear with me, but I had put so much faith in the vehicle that I had too many expensive items with me in the vehicle that I couldn't just walk away from the vehicle. I don't want to do that again. Um, I mean, yeah, I don't want to be so dependent on something if something happens that I can't change my mind and keep going or just do something different. So, yeah. Oh, oh, I'm so sorry, Kate. That's the wires were bare and shorted out the ECM. That's a tough one. Yeah. Yeah, I saw this project rig down in the Phoenix area. It was on Marketplace. And it's two-wheel drive, not four-wheel drive. But you'd have to be prepared for a real project. It's inexpensive, but I don't know how the engine runs or anything. So it would be a total project. It would be a cool project. I'm hesitating, like, do I talk about it? Do I not? But it actually is a Toyota Sunraider, and it's an older one. I don't remember which year. I think it was $1,200. If you're interested in something, yeah, you need something better than that. Yeah, cool. That's what I thought, because I didn't think you were that kind of person. But some people love doing the DIYs, and that being a fiberglass camper shell in the back of the little Toyota thing, they can be really good rigs. If I wanted something to stand up in, that would be a project I would look at. Because I know people that have those and have like put four-wheel drive under them and done things. But because it's the fiberglass body on the back that you can stand up in, there's a whole thing you could do. That would be a good rig. It would. Well, with work, but it's a project. Yeah, I hear you, Kate, and I would be the same way today. Uh, Seriously, because I've had too much MS problems in the last couple of months. That's why I was saying I wasn't talking about Jeremy's things. He took it that way for a minute, but I was talking about anything, any project I'm going to do. I really am not in the mood for like shipping rat crap out of anything. And I don't mean anybody's stuff, but in this area, there's a lot of that. And a lot of those things are why you can get a DIY project, is because it's such a mess, nobody else wants to clean it. And if you're willing to clean it, you might end up with something good. But with me feeling bad, I'm tired of fixing and doing, or I'm tired of sitting on my toilet. I finally got the toilet, but I'm tired of sitting on it to have snow blowing on my back. So I'm glad I got that hole fixed. That part of the wall fixed so that that doesn't happen anymore. That makes that better. Um, I'm going to get the lighting fixed in there pretty soon. But that metal roof, because that building's not square, the metal roof is weird. And the guy who put the metal roof on was like, oh, it don't matter that it hangs off 2 feet in the front and a foot in the back. And I was like, I did want it to kind of look good. So at some point, somebody will probably get up there and cut that metal so that it fits better, and so that I can get the gutters on it, because the one gutter that's on the cabin is the one that was supposed to be on the shower house. Why? Because the shower house already has an IBC tote that the water could be filling. The house doesn't have that, or the cabin. So originally, that's what was supposed to happen. It didn't. So we'll have, and plus it was used parts and they're brown. And so I finally bought the white ones that go on the cabin. So eventually we'll take that. Probably Jess will do it, unless I have company that visits and wants to help, but whatever. But eventually the brown one will come off the house, and or the cabin, and it will go on the back of the shower house, and then its downspout will be run to the IBC tote that's right there, and then that will be lots of shower water, and the overflow from that will be a pipe and a hose or something. I'm not quite sure exactly, but I'm thinking a pipe and a hose that basically can be buried a little bit underground so it won't freeze so much or whatever, but that will go over to the little pond that is also the bird bath and the extra cat water. And that way the overflow cleans that all by itself and keeps that little tank full. See, that's how that's supposed to work. And then the white gutters will go on the cabin. See, there's a plan. It's coming together. It's just been quite a project. And I think this is I feel really good about this idea of just getting me closer to work during the week so that I'm not driving so much, so I can pull myself back to where the healthiest part of me is. My doctor even said, oh, I'm so glad you got your car back. You don't even look like the same person anymore. And I was like, yeah. He goes, just let's get you on the steroids. Let's get your body and let's get your system calmed down. Get back to what you know works and get you back to a little bit more of your regular life. And he said, do you think you could keep working? He goes, you need to think about how much stress that is and whether that's good for you. You do need to think about it. And so for now, I think, yes, I'm not ready to quit. So I think I need to be careful. A little bit more careful. That's all. And there'll come a day when I'll be done, but it's not yet. Because that's life. Okay, guys. 2 hours. That's enough, right? Well, boo back at you. Any more questions or anything? Oh, Kate, you've been looking for land to opt out, but county restricts too much. Yeah, I understand. Is it Cochise County? I don't even know where that is. But Cochise County has an opt-out permit. I think it's free, but if you can find, but if you can find property down there, you can sign something that opts you out of things. But I think if I'm correct, Cochise County is in a place where it's really super, super hot and there's a lot of rattlesnakes. So I don't know. Oh, not free. The permit's not free. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I hear you. I hear you. I was really blessed that my stuff came to me the way it did in the timing that it did. Um, I didn't plan this. Somebody else bigger than me had plans, and I just came along with it. So I do tend to follow that when it happens. So cool. I saw one on the road the other day, and then we had snow. So, you know. But anyways, I think I'm done. So, would you rather watch a tree grow or a knee grow? Why would you ask such a bizarre question? So, y'all trying to be funny, trolling, huh? Oh, nice, Beth, the butterflies. Yeah. Yeah, real soon the bees will be back. I've got wild honeybees that I haven't found the nest yet, guys. I if I could find the nest, we'd be having wild honey because I would gather honey, yes, but I don't know where they are. But that's part of why, but not the only reason why I'm screening in that back patio. And like I said, it's screens, but it'll be screens and storm so that we can use it all year round. And the fact that it's on the south side of the house or the cabin makes it nice and warm. So yeah, I saw that too, Beth. Yes, he remembered the cues. Yeah. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go. You guys have a great week, and pray for each other. I don't know right now who needs what. I was trying to think. Uh, Possibly Liana might need some extra prayers. She's had a health issue. She's been working with a natural doctor or practitioner, and Jess, his finger, uh, Moses. I forgot his channel name, but Moses, got kicked in the head by a horse last year, and just keep him in your prayers. He's doing well. I mean, oh, Foster, who came here and helped me once or twice. He was in a couple videos. He passed away. He had liver cancer. They gave him 2 months. It was only 2 weeks. He was gone, so he's gone. Pray for his. I don't know whether she was common law wife or girlfriend but Donna Ken. Okay, pray for. Oh yeah, Camper Van Kevin for sure. Yeah, yeah. Uh, I think Shane's doing pretty good. Oh, Shane's daughter Lily had the baby. Pray for her as she starts the new mother stage. I feel like she's one of my kids. I'll pray for my son and his wife. My son told me on the phone this morning that he realizes he made a really big mistake with the daughter. He's had lots of boys, but now he has a daughter. And he said, I gave her everything she wanted, and now I have a problem. She's 2, and she's screaming what she wants, and she doesn't want what we want to give her. And he goes, so give me this. Pray for me that I have the strength to figure out how to correct the mistake I made before it gets any worse. And I was like, okay, all right. So pray for him too, even, how that is. Pray for Stan's, the healing of his knee. And then once that one heals, they're going to operate on the other one. And it's not replacements, but remember that, please. Uh, let's add in that we pray for some people who have had issues with filling a hole in their life with extra stuff, whether it's, drinking or food or alcohol, or I don't know why, but it's coming to me that we need to do that this week. So let's do that this week. Let's pray for those people that they find an alternative and can make some choices that are possibly healthier. Now, I'm not saying everybody who drinks is a problem, and I'm not saying everybody who does whatever else is a problem, because I don't believe that. I just feel like all of a sudden, as I was starting to say, pray for this and pray for that, stick that in there. I don't know why. It just feels like we should, so let's do that. Um, and Donna Kay and her husband, and Catherine and Homer. I don't know what's going on with Homer, but he's been on my mind 3 times this week. So let's pray for him too. I know he's getting older. We already said Camper Van Kevin. Who else can I think of? I don't know anybody else real quick, okay? But let's keep all those people in mind, okay? So, let's go forward this week, living what we believe. How about that? That's a good one. I haven't said that in a while. And for me, that's going to be keeping things simple, trying to travel light and often, trying to stay healthy in my body and my mind. I do need to walk more and keep my circulation good, because it's not only the foods I eat that is my health. Oh, Donna Kay, it's not you. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry, Donna Kay. For some reason, I have you mixed up with a different couple. And I bet I did that before once too. Sorry, no husband. Okay. But Donna Kay, she still needs prayers. Okay. And that other couple I'm thinking of, I can't think of their names. The other couple with the fifth wheel that I camped with when I was camping with Catherine. And they travel with cats as well. And for some reason, they're on my mind. Let's pray for them too. And let's pray for all these newbies moving off grid that don't understand that. Let's just pray for them. I don't know in what form. How about we do it this way? We pray for them in whatever form comes to your mind when you get ready to pray for them, okay? Let's keep them in mind, because it's a big change, and I've heard a lot of stories, and they're getting a lot of wonky information. They don't need to have wonky information when they could get good old school information that would help them to be more successful. And um, I think I'm going to leave it right now. And you guys have a great week. We'll see you back here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Do your best to be your best and live your beliefs this week. Okay, guys? Yes. Yeah. I often pray for that. Not my will, but his. And at the same time, how about you bring my will more in line with yours? But could we do that gently so that I don't have to have too many MS flare-ups again? They are so freaking uncomfortable, and they are very painful, and I just don't want to do that. I don't want to be that tired. I don't want to be that confused. I don't want my mind muddied because some wiring synapse in my brain is not firing to the right place. So, yeah. Let's have a great week, guys. See you next week. Yep, turtle step it through. I'll try to keep giving you shorts and stuff. Y'all have a great week. Okay, ciao.